There is a strange haze that hundreds of you have literally been DMing us all day. Brandon Aydlett is here at the National Weather Service. Brandon, excuse me while I kiss the sky, somebody famously said, but that had to do with haze, definitely. But what can you say about this haze that's affecting us?
Yeah, well, a lot of times when we see the hazy, milky air around the Marianas, it's usually related to high surf, especially when we see that large surf on the western side of the islands that we're unaccustomed to. But right now, the seas are fairly quiet. But Kilauea has been fairly active last week between the 10th and 16th of September. We were digging through some of the USGS Volcanic Observatory email updates in the past week and a half. And so Kilauea has been fairly active, nothing major, but we do believe, based on that, some of the satellite imagery that we've been looking at this morning, and then even some of the high split trajectories, we can do a model trajectory analysis. And it does point to the Hawaii region as a source of the haze that we've been seeing. And so Edwin is one of our forecasters working the camera for me. We can see Hawaii out here by the tip of my finger. And right here in the center, around sunrise, it's a lot easier in the visible satellite imagery as the sun is really going at a steep angle or shallow angle through the atmosphere. It does show up this milkiness right along this area. This is crossing 15 degrees north latitude, right across the international date line. So this is northeast of Majuro, and we have an easterly flow. I'll throw up the model streamlines. Easterly flow coming all the way from Hawaii out toward the Marianas. And so that's where this haze seems to be coming from, is a 7 to 10 day transit on the gentle trade winds out to the Mariana Islands.
Gotcha.
And
So
so,
basically, whatever was happening with Kilauea about a week ago, we're experiencing the residual effects of that. I mean, is it even a residual effects?
yeah, absolutely. And so I was looking at some of the updates on Kilauea this morning, and I think it has quieted down. So we're still looking at that period of the 10th to 16th. So that's about 6 days of active activity. And so the local winds in Hawaii, the winds between us and Hawaii, and then our local winds are all going to play a little bit of a role in how much of that exposure to the haze that we have. Now, again, this is not a concern regarding volcanic ash. That has its own implications toward aviation and also the local community. But haze does have its own implications, and most frequently, first of all, in visibility. So there is that reduced visibility. We're seeing that down to about 5 or 6 statute miles. But also for folks that have some respiratory issues, asthma, you may be feeling a little bit more tightness in your chest this morning, and especially if you exert yourself pretty hard during the day. So do take those precautions and maybe consider doing more indoor activities.
Okay, so I guess that having been said, and we appreciate like you breaking down for us that easily. By the way, everybody, if you have respiratory issues, please go and consult your primary physician. You might have to go on another albuterol, get your inhaler, whatever, because we want to make sure you're safe. What do you project as far as how long we'll be experiencing these conditions for, Brandon?
That's a good question. And so we did put out one of those infrequently issued non-precipitable warnings, just highlighting this volcanic haze in the area. We've got that going out through at least tomorrow morning, so Wednesday morning. But we're looking at some other data to see if there's a way we can better pinpoint the duration that we could see it in the Marianas. Ultimately, with the active period of Kilauea having been about 6 days, we could see a couple of days of haze across the region. But otherwise, we're looking at the regional weather patterns. And so we do have this disturbance that is north of the Pohnpei coastline area. And so where you see all those clouds, that rainfall will help to reduce some of that haze in the air. So rainfall is good. It does clean out the air. And so this disturbance is going to be that intervening factor for the next several days as it stays to the east of the Marianas.
All right, that's a good word. So, boy, it's been a weird day, and again, a lot of Guamanians reaching out because they're either curious, they're trying to make social media content, but again, for people that have very very sensitive respiratory issues and everything like that, this is a major concern for them. If it does, what you said, the rain does literally dilute the effects of this haze, but for the people that like to go out and they like to play in the rain, or many people, they wash their they water blast their roofs when, because it's natural of washing off effect, or they do like yard work for whatever reason in the rain. Should they avoid that, given the fact that there may be, dangerous material even coming down with the precipitation?
I don't think it's too much of a problem because this is very small particulates, and so it's still something that's in the air. But I don't think it's going to be really detrimental to one's health beyond just those breathing difficulties. I think there are some environmental monitoring folks and entities here on Guam. Could probably reach out to them to really get some of the down low on the other effects. But certainly, just beyond that breathing concerns and the low visibility, I think those will probably be the primary impacts that most of us will see.